Hello, hello, comic fans. The following is a video of all the stuff I've been reading recently. There's going to be some stuff that's 20 years old, there's going to be some stuff that's 2 weeks old. That's just how I read comics. Without further ado, it's about 10 years old. Action Comics 834. Pretty awesome. I try to pick up Action Comics whenever I can. 836. Again, this is about 10 years old. I'm pretty sure this is Lee Bermejo art. I always like his art. Amazing Forest is great. The cover pretty much is a good summation of what this is about. It's just fun, sci-fi, a lot of standalone stories. I think they're really well written, and a lot of different art styles within there. It's a favorite recent title of mine. I picked this up recently. I'm still missing a couple of the Todd McFarlane covers. I just don't feel like paying that much for them. But I picked this up, and Todd McFarlane's the man. Also, I'm pretty sure the original artwork for this cover sold for close to $500,000, if I'm not mistaken. It was a lot of money. So this cover right here, the original artwork, is one of the, I think it's in the top 10 for original artwork for comic books that's been sold in terms of price, which is pretty cool. It just amazes me how fluid sort of his lines are, how much movement and just energy is in McFarlane's art. Just incredible. This is Amazing Spider-Man 400. Pretty old. A death in the family. I can't even call this a spoiler. At this point, I think most people have read this. This is the death of Aunt May. I think it's done really well. And I don't fully understand why they felt the need to bring her back, but as they're wont to do in comic books, nobody stays dead forever. And Aunt May is such a beautiful, loving character. It's nice to have her back. But I think the funeral and how this is done in this book is really good. It's done well, I'll put it that way. This is the annual. Nothing really that exciting about this. It was cool to see how they did Captain Marvel on this new Captain Marvel. That was done pretty well. I liked it. Man, what to say about this? I read, this is issue 3 of Auteur. This is issue 3. I've read 1 and 2 before, so it wasn't completely new to me. This is certainly for adults. There is genitalia, it's pretty graphic, there's violence. It's a weird blend of like irreverent comedy meets really weird out there storyline. So yeah, I'm not going to recommend it, but if you see it in like 50-cent bin or dollar bin, I would pick it up. It's cool, especially if you like The Boys. I think you'll like this. But it is graphic, that's for sure. Love me some Authority. And it's just written. I mean, the writing alone, I think, is worth it for Authority. The art's really good too, but the writing, I mean, the stories themselves are fantastic. Pretty sure it's Apollo having a tough day. I just started reading Aztec. It's pretty good. This is a title from '96. I think it's only 12 issues. It's cool. This is the beginning of Night of the Monstermen. I like this. I like this a lot. I think the story is done really well. The art was really cool. It kind of reminded me of Attack on Titan. When if you haven't read this, you may want to skip forward about 30 seconds. but when the monster appears, it's so large, and it kind of reminded me of like one of the babies or like the childlike titans. So that was done just really well. I'm looking forward to this whole Monster Men arc. I know it's been done before, but we'll see how they do it this time. This is from 1990, and this is Legends of the Dark Knight Shaman. It's okay. It feels kind of dated. Just something I picked up. It's another one. Picked this up. Ever since I've been watching Mercenant videos, I've been trying to read a little bit more of Valiant. There's enough people out there who love Valiant that I'm trying to give it a shot. And they're right. Some great stuff. This is the Art Deco cover of Crossed 87. I love this cover. Okay. I think everyone will recognize the next one. Yup. This is the Millennium edition of Detective Comics 27. As I've said before, I love these Millennium editions. Probably the closest that I'm going to come to owning a Detective 27, that's for sure. And the thing I think I love most about these Millenniums is you get to read the other stories that appear in Detective 27. I'm sure you've read reprints of those original 6 pages where Batman's debuted. I think it's like Batman in the Case of the Chemical Company or something like that. And it's a great story, but it's just interesting to see the other stuff that's in there too. It really puts it in the context of like just how old it is. So yeah, I really do love these Millennium editions. This is reprint. These EC comics, I mean, they're fantastic. So ahead of their time. Weird Science, another EC reprint. Like, what is this guy wearing? You know? Love how they match, too. This is Fantastic Four 358. This is a story about a Super Skrull. It's a really good story. I liked it. And this is a cutout here. So like that 4 is on the second page in. The cover is like a cardboard stock. This is Flash 185 from 2002. It's a good enough story, I guess. I really do like Jeff Johns, so when I see his stuff, I try to pick it up. I think he's a good writer. Flash 186. This is from 2002. 187. 188. I'm not a fan of this cover. 189. 190. 191. I like this. The only thing that really gets me about this is like, what is this? This #1 now thing, to me, really detracts from an otherwise beautiful cover. You know, you got the #1 now over here. You got the #1 here. I guess that's for the issue. I hope, but it's just too busy around the artwork. I love David Mack. I got the chance to meet him at a con about 10 years ago. He was a really nice guy. And I'm not the biggest Jessica Jones fan, but it was a good story. It was solid. I'll probably pick up more of these. But this kills me. Does this really need to be this big? You know, can't we just put mature on the cover? I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that it's an art form. I mean, you know, it would be nice if the focus was on art instead of barcodes and advertisements and stuff. Go David Mack, you're the man. Oh, this was good. So you already know I'm an Authority fan. Midnighter is such a great character. And it's great to see DC, this is one of 6, this just came out. It's great to see DC embracing a homosexual relationship. I just think it's cool to see it in the mainstream. And let me tell you, like, the action in this, there's a scene where Midnighter kills, it's on like 2 pages, and Midnighter kills a bunch of guys on a train. The progression of the panels, the way it's done, is really good. It's worth the cover price of this comic for sure. So check that out. If for nothing else, to see Midnighter kill a bunch of guys on a train, you should buy this. This is from '89. Screamer. Pretty dark, if we're being honest. It reminds me of Preacher. It reminds me of Sandman a little bit, if Sandman was darker and more sinister. I've only read the first one, so I can't comment on the whole series. I have the other ones, and I'll definitely read them. I'll keep reading. I like the writing. I think it's done well. Love the art on this. I like this cover a lot more than I think I like this issue. I don't know, the story is a little bit over the top in my opinion, but I'm a big fan of the Suicide Squad. This is okay. I read Tank Girl here and there. I really do like this cover. The colors in this book are very different than the cover. It almost has like an orangey sort of feel. So it's very much like orange red is sort of how every page is on the inside, which creates sort of like an interesting reading experience. It was okay. I wouldn't buy it cover price again, but if I see these for cheap, I'll pick them up. The stories are fun. Oh man, Tokyo Ghost is one of the recent titles that I am really enjoying. I think Remender is doing a tremendous job, and the artwork is just gorgeous. This is definitely on my top 5 list of stuff that I'm currently reading. This is a Millennium edition of Wonder Woman. So I thought it would be cool. I have some of the Wonder Woman Rebirth issues. I have like 1 through 3, I think, and I hadn't read them. And I picked this up, and I thought it'd be cool to read this one and then read Rebirth. And this one's fantastic, by the way. They say like gee willikers and all kinds of dated phrases, which I think is awesome. The art's really good. The story behind her creation is really good, like the psychologist who created the character. You can wiki that. It's interesting. I'm also... I got a couple of these My Light sleeves, and I'm really enjoying them. They're good. The My Light just... it keeps the corners a little bit better, and I tried to do this top loader thing, but I got the wrong size My Lights. But the good news is my silver boards work well with these My Light covers. So some of the stuff that I care about a little bit more, I put in. And it does kind of make the covers look nice, like crisp. This is the Wonder Woman Rebirth. And I forgot to grab the other... oh, I'll just go get it. Okay, so this is one cover I have, and the store that I love that does my pulls, they sort of made a mistake, and they gave me that cover and this cover, which was nice. I like that cover a little more. And there's another variant too that's, I think, even nicer. I don't think it's Adam Hughes, but it kind of looks like Adam Hughes. I'm not sure who did it. But the other cover too is like her full body, and she just looks very realistic. It's short sword, and it's just done really well. The Rebirth title, by the way, was really good. The story comes on strong. They link up to some of the same characters from... what was this come out? 1940? Some of the same characters in this one, a lot of them actually, appear in Rebirth. So that just tells me that DC is doing a great job, attention to detail and carrying stuff forward. I didn't realize this, but Wonder Woman is one of only 3 characters to be continually published since the Golden Age. The other 2 being obviously Batman and Superman. So that's pretty cool. She's one of 3 to be continually published. Thought that was cool. So anyway, hope you guys are having an awesome day, and thank you for tuning in, and read some comics.